Hit that like button, y'all. What's good with y'all?
Build the fire.
Shout out all the fire starters and everybody that's coming up in here this afternoon, man. Hit the like button, man. We about to talk about it. Let's get back on our fire and our flame and everything we stomp, step, and stand on over here at GFTV, man. What's up with y'all, man? Memphis in the building already. What's up with you, man? Shout out the whole M and everybody that's out there, man. Breaking news, man. Breaking news coming out of the M, as we quite sure everybody done heard about the situation that happened with Project Pat and his son about 5 or 6 months ago, as the murder suspect, the female, has been captured and charged, y'all. All right, in the connection with the murder of Project Pat's son, y'all. Everybody hit the like button, drop your fire and TVs in the chat, man. We about to get into this, man. Because there's something very strange going on with this. And y'all know when it come to GFTV, and when I come stomping, stepping, and standing on shit, you know I bring everything to the light. Everything that was already in everybody's face, all right, I bring to the forefront. Because they hit us with so much shit, they allow things to go over our head and under our feet. And like I said, man, it's some very strange activity going on around with this situation. Shout out everybody that's coming up in here, man. We got 52 people up in here viewing. So let's see what they're talking about. Everybody hit the like button, y'all. Appreciate everybody that's coming up in here. Let's go to the video feed and see what's going on here, y'all. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation. Let's go, man.
Tonight in the death investigation of rapper Project Pat's son, Patrick Houston Jr.
The U.S. Marshals have arrested a woman they believe is behind this murder. 19-year-old Talia Jones is charged with facilitation of murder in the death of Patrick Houston Jr., the son of rapper Project Pat. Tonight, we're working to find out more about Jones.
Let's go to Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu live at the MPD Tillman station right now. Jack, we know she's had a couple of previous run-ins with the law.
Yeah, Daryl, according to court records, she was wanted on a warrant separate from the shooting. That's misdemeanor shoplifting. The U.S. Marshals say when they found her in Minnesota, she put up a fight.
A Memphis music legend facing a heartbreaking situation. Patrick Houston Sr., better known as Project Pat, lost his son, 21-year-old Patrick Houston Jr., in a shooting in Imogene Heights back in January.
Hit
Project
the like
Pat
button, y'all.
about...
Everybody hit the like button. Strategic drop. Let's get the views to match the likes and the likes to match the views. An arrest has been made in the arrest has been made in the murder of Project Pat's son, man. Everybody hit the like button. Yo, it's something going on here. Let's go.
Women, drugs, and the streets. But in recent years, he's focused his creative efforts on prison ministries.
So God gives people out here gifts of people out here have gifts of influence. I was using my gift in the wrong way.
Memphis police say they found Patrick Houston Jr. shot near a park on January 10th. He died at the scene. For months, there was no update on the case, but now the U.S. Marshals say they've made an arrest more than 800 miles away in Minnesota.
800 miles away in Minnesota, y'all, 6 months later. That's a long way, ain't it, y'all? That's a pretty long extension cord. That's a pretty long connection, ain't it? Hit the like button, y'all. Let's continue to get people up in here, man.
The marshals say Talia Jones put up a fight when they tried to take her in. She's charged with facilitation of first-degree murder. Court documents related to her alleged role in Houston's death are not yet available, but she was involved in 2 previous cases. In October 2024, she was arrested following a domestic incident at an apartment complex on Ketchum. She allegedly used a knife during a fight against a woman who was armed with a hammer. That case was disposed. Later that month, she was arrested again, accused of shoplifting from a dollar store on Perkins. She was released on her own recognizance, but didn't show up for a court hearing, and a warrant was put out.
Let's talk about that facilitation charge. That means she's accused of helping someone else who actually pulled the trigger. It's
Y'all heard that, right? She's charged with a facilitation charge. Excuse me, man. All right, a facilitation charge. All right, helping someone pull the trigger. Y'all hear this, right? She was connected with helping someone murder and set up the plot with the whole situation with Project Pat's son. Not only that, y'all, all right, I find it very odd and very strange. Okay, I find it very odd and very strange that if I can't pronounce facilitation, why you up in my motherfucking chat, my nigga? Why you on my dick? All right, I pronounce it how the fuck I want to, in the way I want to. Long as you overstand it and understand it, all right, stay in your motherfucking place, nigga. All right, I say your shit backwards. Long as you know I'm talking to you, that's all that matter, right? Right. So with that being said, sit back and enjoy the motherfucking show, because I'm about to get back on my shit. I'm about to get back on my shit. Now, let's get back to the fire and the flame. Because, like I said, the crazy thing about this whole situation is, all right, as much as Project Pat and who? 3-6 Mafia, what? As much as they what, y'all? Hit the like button. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it is and what it ain't. Shout out to everybody up in here. Let's talk about it. As much as they done promoted this demon and demonic music, right? Right? Yo, as much as DJ Chicken Wing, DJ Paul has been promoting all this demon and demonic ass music, right? Right? As much as Juicy J and 3-6 Mafia has been promoting nothing but what? Destruction to each and every black community, all right, on the planet. Not to mention, y'all, they haven't mentioned not one word about Project Pat's son and how they are trying to get the awareness out to find out who knocked this man down. Not to mention, we're talking about Memphis natives. Project Pat, born and raised. DJ Paul, born and raised. Juicy J, born and raised. Country Black, Crunchy Black, whatever the fuck you pronounce it. Like I said, you know what I'm saying. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, though. Right? Crunchy Black, Country Black. Don't you run the city? Don't they say Crunchy Black know everything that's going on in the city, right? Hit the like button, y'all. Don't they say Crunchy Black know everything that's going on in the city? Right? When it comes to everything else, when DJ Paul and Juicy J and them had that beef, right? Right? It was Crunchy Black that was sliding and riding and stomping on everything in the city, right? Right? But now Project Pat's son gets murdered on Ketchum in Memphis, in their city. Nobody don't know a goddamn thing, right? Hit the like button. Strategic drop. Let's go. I'm tired of this shit. I've been quiet long enough. I done sat back. I done took my motherfucking break. All right? And motherfuckers still ain't grabbing the ball, taking it down, the full court pressure. all right, and putting that bitch in a basket like it's supposed to. All right? Now, let me say it again. How can someone or a group that's supposed to be running the city, hit the like button, running the city, they're embedded in the city of Memphis. Shout out everybody that's up in here. Where Memphis at? Shout out the whole city of Memphis. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know I'm rocking with y'all the long way. Pause. What it is. Because, like I said, if y'all don't say it, I'm going to say it because I'm very well connected. But like I said, even when this situation broke out, y'all, Project Pat never said a motherfucking word. Heavy. Has Project Pat been trying to advocate to find the murder suspect or what happened to his son? Have he mentioned any goddamn thing? No, he didn't. Shout out everybody up in here. We got 160 plus. Hit the like button. Drop your fire TVs in the chat. And let's call it how we see it. Let's run it back so everybody can get a full understanding. Let's go.
In the death investigation of rapper Project Pat's son, Patrick Houston Jr.
The U.S. Marshals have arrested a woman they believe is behind this murder. 19-year-old Talia Jones is charged with facilitation of murder in the death of Patrick Houston Jr., the son of rapper Project Pat. Tonight, we're working to find out more about Jones.
Let's go to Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu live at the MPD Tillman station right now. Jack, we know she's had a couple of previous run-ins with the law.
Yeah, Daryl, according to court records, she was wanted on a warrant separate from the shooting. That's misdemeanor shoplifting. The U.S. Marshals say when they found her in Minnesota, she put up a fight.
She put up a fight. She put up a fight. Y'all hear that, right? She put up more of a fight than Project Platinum did. Let's go, y'all. Hit the like button, man. Let's go, man. This shit weird. This shit wild. They did the same thing with Gangsta Boo. They did the same thing when Gangsta Boo died. When Gangsta Boo died, they looked the other way like nothing ain't never motherfucking happened. They never did a tribute. They never said a motherfucking word, right? Same shit that happened when Project Pat's son gets murdered in his own city, in the city where 3-6 Mafia originates from. And nobody don't know what happened down there on Ketchum, right? Don't nobody know what happened down there on Ketchum. Don't Crunchy Black be up and down on Ketchum? Hit the like button. And wasn't it just a couple weeks ago, Crunchy Black was coming out exposing his problems that he got with Juicy J and DJ Paul? Hit the like button. Let's talk about it. Nobody is really making no sense of this whole situation, but we definitely is, because I know for a fact that Crunchy Black is known for hanging out down there, up and around. Where? Ketchum. Don't that street, that road, that area, that block sounds familiar? Ketchum sleeping, Ketchum lacking, Ketchum like Young Dolph and Makita's cookies. Hit the like button.
A Memphis music legend facing a heartbreaking situation. Patrick Houston Sr., better known as Project Pat, lost his son, 21-year-old Patrick Houston Jr., in a shooting in Imogene Heights back in January. Project Pat once rapped about women, drugs, and the streets, but in recent years, he's focused his creative efforts on prison ministries.
So God gives people out here gifts of have influence.
if he been focusing his motherfucking what? They said he changed his ways and continue to focus on what? Jailhouse ministries and things like that, right? How the fuck you going to jailhouses trying to preach to people in jail when you haven't came out to the public, all right, and try to get some awareness out about who murdered your son? But you changed your life for the better, right? Right? I can guarantee you, Project Pat, okay, allegedly knows what happened to his son, and he ain't saying a goddamn thing. Hit the like button. How many of y'all believe, all right, that Project Pat and somebody along them lines with 3-6 Mafia know what the fuck happened to Project Pat's son, and they haven't said a motherfucking word about it? They've been trying to keep it quiet. I can see if it happened in another city or another state, but it happened in their city, in their state, in their neighborhood, where they frequently, okay, move in and around every day. And I'm talking about Project Pat himself. Project Pat's still in Memphis. Y'all know that, right? He ain't got that DJ Paul money. He ain't got that Juicy J money. You know why? Because he ain't walked through them doors. Hit the like button. Project Pat ain't walked through them doors that DJ Paul and his brother Juicy J walked through. Not to mention, for the ones who don't know, Juicy J and Project Pat father, all right, is a pastor, a known pastor in Memphis. They came up in a church upbringing, okay? So for their sons to promote and advocate for the demon, for the demonic one, all right, speaks volumes of how spiritually attached this whole situation is that's going on with 3-6 Mafia, Project Pat, allegedly the murder of his son. Because like I said, y'all, there's no way in the world Project Pat's son gets knocked down in the middle of Memphis. Broad daylight, y'all. Broad daylight. Let's take it back. Let's take it back.
So much, Andrew. The violent crime plaguing our city has now hit home for one of Memphis's most well-known rappers. Project Pat's son was killed in a shooting in a park right across the street from the airport. Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon is putting the pieces together from the
across the street from the airport. Huh? Was Project Pat's son waiting for somebody to land at the airport or what? But like I said, you get killed across the street in the middle of Memphis, across the street from an airport, and don't nobody know a goddamn thing. But you ask Crunchy Black, what's going on in the trap house around the corner? All right, who sucking who dick? Who on the corner tricking? Who just got robbed? Who just got set up and laid down? Crunchy Black can tell you everything that happened in the hood of Memphis. Okay? But Project Pat's son gets murdered and nobody don't know a goddamn thing. Make it make sense, y'all. Okay? Shout out everybody up in here. I appreciate everybody that's coming up in here. Like, share, subscribe. Let's continue to break this shit down because I got so much vital, strategical evidence that's going to blow y'all away. All right? GFTV is back. The fire has been demanded to be relit again. All right? And that's what I am here to do. That's it. And that's all. That's it. And that's all, y'all. Shout out everybody up in here. That's how the devil works. Shout out Beverly. That's how the devil works, right? Right? Ain't that something? This shit deep. How old was he? 19 years old. He was 19 years old, Apex. And Project Pat haven't said a goddamn thing. Right? Check it out. Okay? You, anything. Redemption. Project Pat. He said he's on a redemption tour. Look at the numerology. Piece of shit. He's on a redemption tour, right? How you on a redemption tour, you piece of shit, when your son murderer out here? Make it make sense. What redemption tour you want? Okay? And it sounds like in order for Project Pat to continue, all right, to keep up with the Joneses, all right, maybe it's certain, all right, allegiance that he must abide by. Maybe it is certain oaths that he must still partake in order for him to still be active. Because like I said, if you can go into the prison system and advocate for prisoners, but your son literally just got murdered on the streets of Memphis, and you're not advocating for your son, something is definitely wrong with that. How can you still be going on a redemption tour, knowing that your son murderer is still out there? Make it make sense, y'all. Now book it. Look, DJ Paul, the chat, they dropping fire and flames all in the comment section, right? Has Project Pat done one press conference? Listen here, a lot of people might not like what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. Well, too motherfucking bad. Because if your son was murdered, if you could do a press conference for a fucking rap tour and your son get murdered and you can't do a press conference for your son murder, something wrong with that. There's something wrong with you. And whoever stand on some shit like that already know how your real energy is. That shit crazy, ain't it? That shit crazy, ain't it? That shit crazy. Not only is it crazy for Project Pat to go on with his life like nothing never happened to his son. Okay? He never said a word. Went right on with his life like nothing never happened. Still on tours. Check this out, y'all. Okay? No motion never got stopped. Let my son get killed in the middle of Memphis. That'll stop my whole motion. I won't be able to eat, sleep, let alone how I'm going to speak some positivity to some other folks, and my son just got murdered in cold blood, and don't nobody know a goddamn thing that happened. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. Hit the like button. Come on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How can you continue to go on a tour? And we see who continues to what? Support DJ Chicken Wing Paul, right? DJ Chicken Wing Paul. Listen here. We know that DJ Paul is one demon, demonic, ugly, ghouly looking motherfucker, bro. All right? And he only got one arm. Imagine what that evil motherfucker do with two arms. Imagine if that evil chicken wing motherfucker, okay, had two goddamn arms. Imagine how much evil he'd do. Okay, we see how much evil he put into the world with one goddamn chicken wing. Imagine if the bitch had two goddamn chicken wings. All right? All right? I don't like that nigga. I never did. I never did. I never liked that motherfucker. I never liked the DJ Paul. On some real shit. You know why? Because he ain't got no morals. Fuck the music. Fuck the music. All right, I respect the man by his morals and his motherfucking principles, nigga. And when Gangsta Boo died, he ain't had no goddamn principles for, and he ain't had no fucking morals. He gonna tell everybody, right? Hold on, y'all. He gonna tell everybody, shut the fuck up. I ain't got to shout out no Gangsta Boo. If it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't even know no Gangsta Boo. Y'all won't even know a Gangsta Boo. Man, shut your ass up. Like I said, this motherfucker put out so much evil and demonic energy into the world with one goddamn hand. Imagine if he had two. Imagine if he had two, how much evil destruction this motherfucker could create on them turntables and shit, and how much evil frequency this motherfucker could create. He could create some master manipulating frequency with one hand in a chicken wing and a nub. Chicka, chicka, walk, walk, chicka, chicka, walk, walk, chicka, chicka, walk, walk. You know what I'm saying? So imagine if he had two. All right? Imagine if he had two. He'll fuck around and make everybody self-destruct with his energy. All right? And like I said, I respect the man not by his creativity, not by his job, not by his profession. I respect the man off of his morals and his motherfucking principles. That part. And if you ain't got no principles with your morals, you damn sure ain't got no morals to go along with your principles. Which what clearly means, all right, you're just a waste of fucking breath. Because like I said, this supposed to be your family, right? This supposed to be your family, right? Juicy J. Check it out. Right? This supposed to be your nephew, right? But y'all could go on stage and pick at a motherfucker who got mental disabilities like Crazy Bone and shit and all them, right? Like Lazy Bone and shit off of Bone Thugs and Harmony, right? Y'all remember that, right? Remember when they got on stage and they was making fun of old boy mental capacity? Remember they was making fun of his what? Mental stability on stage in front of the world, right? Well, a motherfucker, all right, with one goddamn chicken wing got some nerve. They got some nerve. Because, like I said, y'all, and I'm going to continue to say it, I'm going to stop, step, and stand on that shit. This supposed to be your nephew, right, Juicy J? Right? Bands to make her dance. Bands to make her dance. Bands to make her dance, right? Right? Well, let me tell you what bands do where I'm from. Let me tell you what bands do where I'm from. And from the style of life that y'all supposed to be created from. You see, not only do bands make a bitch dance, okay? Bands also, okay, put dead ends to shit. Bands also get shit done. Bands also, what? Has information brung to you when you got that money, right? So if you can pay a bitch bands to make that bitch dance, you couldn't pay no bands to find out what the fuck happened to your nephew, you fucking goofy. You couldn't pay no bands to find out what happened to your nephew, you fucking goofy. Like I said, bands that make her dance. But if somebody kill your son or your sister or your brother or your nephew, don't give out no bands to get no information on their death. That's basically what he's saying, right? Right? Why? Because the only thing he promoting about bands is a bitch taking off their clothes. Is a bitch taking off their clothes. Right? Hit the like button. Shout out everybody up in here, man. I got to keep it 100. I got to keep it 100 with this situation. Why? Okay, so now we need to ask y'all, who is this woman connected to? Who do y'all think? Now that she has been caught, who do y'all think Project Pat and them were protecting in Memphis? Because they were protecting somebody. They know who did this shit, bro. Look, they know who did this, yo. This happened in their city, in their hood, where they grew up at. They know exactly what happened. But now this female has been caught. A lot of shit is going to come to the forefront now. Like I said, Project Pat went on about his business, y'all. Like nothing never happened to his son. This shit happened back in February and January. Okay? And like I said, Project Pat never said a goddamn thing. He continued to go on tour like it wasn't nothing. Never said a goddamn thing about his son. And not only that, he claims he's at a redemption in his life. How the fuck can you be at a redemption in your life knowing the murderers of your son is still out there running loose somewhere? How you know if they don't want to kill you? Wouldn't you be scared, y'all, if somebody murders your son and you don't know who it is? Hit the like button, right? Right? Because you don't know what the fuck they're capable of. You don't know what they're going to do next. You don't know if they want to come after you or the rest of the family, right? So you want to find out who the fuck it is and what the fuck is going on, right? Right. But instead, this goofy motherfucker said, I'm going on tour. I'm at a redemption in my life. And I'm at a redemption in my life so well. I had turned over a new leaf, and now I am going to the prison systems, and I am talking to the kids and the youth in the prison about the do's and the don'ts. I am going to high schools. I'm giving out books, backpacks, pens, iPhone cases, you name it. But not once have I mentioned, okay, the death of my son. How can I tell these prisoners to stop doing crime? How can I tell these prisoners to stop going out murdering people? How can I tell these prisoners to stop robbing? How can I tell these prisoners to stop shooting? And if I haven't advocated for my own son murder, make it make sense. Let's go. Hit the like button. Strategic drop. Got me on my shit now. How the fuck you go into a prison telling that young man, don't up his pistol, don't go in the house and rob that nigga, don't set up that bitch for that nigga, and don't set up that nigga for that bitch when a bitch just set up your son for that nigga and you ain't said a motherfucking word. Make it make sense, y'all. It's all good to the public eye. Ain't that right? Okay? Chelsea Davis. DJ Paul knew Dolph was going to die. Yeah, he knew it. Shout out, Mr. Mel, man. Shout out to you, man. Listen, man, it's only right. We got to speak it. How the fuck I look like going inside of a prison trying to tell these young brothers to stop murdering, stop spinning the block, stop gang banging, right? Stop shooting and murdering people. I apologize about that, y'all. I'm back up in here. But like I said, let's make it make sense. One more time. I'm going to keep drilling this shit. Because like I said, they have normalized shit that don't make no goddamn sense. How is you in the prison, Project Pat, advocating for the youth when you ain't even advocating for your goddamn son? And your son is the same age as these prisoners that you talking to. That he's no longer living. Which proves that shit you talking is bullshit. If you couldn't save your son, how you gonna save these niggas? Hit the like button. Strategic drop. Hit the like button. If you couldn't save your motherfucking son, bro, how you gonna go into prison to save somebody else's son? Kiss my ass, nigga. Kiss my ass, nigga. How the fuck you gonna save me? You can't even save yours. Which proves, y'all, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. How is this man inside of a federal or state penitentiary shooting some bullshit, shooting lies to these, yo, like I said, a motherfucker can say anything out their mouth, but action speaks louder than words, man. And if you can't instill real principles and morals in your own son, how the hell you gonna do it in somebody else's son? You supposed to lead by example, right? 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 Exactly. Exactly my point, yo. But check this out, and I want everybody to pay attention. Want everybody to pay attention.
Coverage tonight of the death investigation of rapper Project Pat's son, Patrick Houston Jr.
The U.S. Marshals have arrested a woman they believe is behind this murder. 19-year-old Talia Jones is charged with facilitation of murder in the death of Patrick Houston Jr., the son of rapper Project Pat. Tonight, we're working to find out more about Jones.
Let's go to Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu live at the MPD Tillman station right now. Jack, we know she's had a couple of previous run-ins with the law.
Yeah, Daryl, according to court records, she was wanted on a warrant separate from the shooting. That's misdemeanor shoplifting. The U.S. Marshals say when they found her in Minnesota, she put up a fight.
A Memphis music legend facing a heartbreaking situation. Patrick Houston Sr., better known as Project Pat, lost his son, 21-year-old Patrick Houston Jr., in a shooting in Imogene Heights back in January. Project Pat once rapped about women, drugs, and the streets, but in recent years...
In recent years, he been doing this, y'all. He ain't just turned over a new leaf after his son got killed, which proves none of y'all have been following this lying piece of shit. He been doing this for years. He's been going to prisons, acting like he this goddamn jailhouse preacher, all right? Starting up his own prison ministries, getting money off the prison system. You see, it's all the finagle to bangle, finagle to daggle. It's all a finesse. It's all a motherfucking marketing scheme. That's it. That's all. He been going to these prisons for years. For years, y'all. While his son is out here in the midst of the war, in the midst of the battlefield, fighting for his life. Make it make sense, y'all. Check it out.
Working to find out more about Jones.
Let's go to Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu live at the MPD Tillman station right now. Jack, we know she's had a couple of previous run-ins with the law.
Yeah, Daryl, according to court records, she was wanted on a warrant separate from the shooting. That's misdemeanor shoplifting. The U.S. Marshals say when they found her in Minnesota, she put up a fight.
A Memphis music legend facing a heartbreaking situation. Patrick Houston Sr., better known as Project Pat, lost his son, 21-year-old Patrick Houston Jr., in a shooting in Imogene Heights back in January. Project Pat once rapped about women, drugs, and the streets, but in recent years, he's focused his creative efforts on prison ministries.
So God gives people out here people out here have gifts of influence. I was using my gift in the wrong way.
Memphis police say they found Patrick Houston Jr. shot near a park on January 10th. He died at the scene. For months, there was no update on the case, but now the U.S. Marshals say they've made an arrest more than 800 miles away in Minnesota. The Marshals say Talia Jones put up a fight when they tried to take her in. She's charged with facilitation of first-degree murder. Court documents.
All right, y'all. What do y'all think is going on with this, y'all? Do y'all actually, because like I said, we know DJ Paul and Juicy J and 3-6 Mafia and Project Pat. If anybody got the Memphis connections, south, west, north, central, east, it's going to be them guys right there. Okay? Now, nothing like this has never happened or came even close to happening to any one of these guys or their family in this manner. Now, all of a sudden, y'all, okay, Project Patrick Houston or Hudson Jr., okay, was murdered in Memphis. Now, like I said, what's very strange is the numerology on this. Like I said, man, everything that we're breaking down here is all alleged. Okay, but we know that 3-6 Mafia and them are connected to some dark demonic shit, right? Even everybody know, even with the gangster boo murder, all right, it was allegedly numerology connected to that as well. A lot of people don't believe in this. Well, let me tell you, okay? Some of these demonic entities, all right, they do things in a symbolic way, all right? And they have to literally put the truth in plain sight. This is all alleged. Now, if you look at the numerology, when Project Pat's son was murdered, y'all, all right? Project Pat's son was murdered on January the 10th, 2025, okay? You do that numerology, you have 9966, which is the root 66. The what? The what? We all know what number and what entities are represented by the number 6, 3-6 Mafia. Not to mention, right, the group that they were a part of, 3-6 Mafia. Now, like the numerology on this here, check it out. January the 10th, right? Like I said, we don't do numbers over here, but we understand and we know what's going on. Now, like I said, if you look at the numerology of this whole situation, okay, you get double 9s and double 6s. All right, you get double 9s and double 6s. Not to mention, they say suspect captured in Minnesota, found in Minneapolis 6 months after the shooting. Okay, which is what? 3 6s right in your goddamn face. 666 Mafia, 3-6 Mafia, strategic drop. One of the best to do this shit. All right, like I said, the 3 6s is right in your face. Even the numerology. Okay, now, like I said, what makes this situation even more crazy, okay, we know Country Black, wherever the fuck his name is, still resides in Memphis right now to this day. Not only do he still resides in Memphis, all right, it just was a couple of weeks ago, because I honestly believe Country Black know what happened to DJ Paul, to Project Pat's son personally. If anybody know anything about what's going on in Memphis, it's Crunchy, bro. It's Crunchy. You see, Crunchy told everybody what happened allegedly with Gangsta Boo, right? He said Gangsta Boo brother had something to do with that shit. Remember, it was Crunchy Black that put that out there. Told everyone, yo, Gangsta Boo brother got something to do with that shit, right? Like I said, it's nothing that goes on in and around that Crunchy don't know. Now, it just was a couple weeks ago, Crunchy came out exposing, okay, DJ Paul and Juicy J about how he ain't been getting his money and he ain't been added to the credits and been getting the proper residuals from all that goddamn material that he done wrote on all them albums. So Crunchy Black got tired of being silent and he decided to speak out. But let me tell you how they treat Country or Crunchy. Let me tell you how they treat Crunchy. They treat Crunchy like a fucking fiend. That's how they treat Crunchy Black. That's how they look at Crunchy Black, like a fiend, like an addict, a dope fiend, a dope addict. They don't respect him because of what he chooses to do in his personal life. Okay? They don't respect him because of the things that he indulged in. But they ain't no better. They ain't no different. They ain't no better. They ain't no different. Why you think Crunchy Black still in Memphis struggling, y'all? All right? Now, for the ones who don't know, look, check it out, y'all. Let me show y'all something here. Shout out everybody up in here. I appreciate y'all. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. I appreciate y'all. Like, share, subscribe, man. Crunchy Black has been coming out about these dudes over the years, man. All right. He has been exposing about how, okay, he was owed money. He wasn't too savvy with the internet and the phone and the computers, and they knew that he wasn't too savvy in internet, okay, with the computers, y'all. All right, and they hit him with the okie doke. You see what I'm saying? They hit him with the okie doke. See something here. Shout out everybody up in here, man. All right. See something here. Hold on, y'all. I had to pull it up.
If a nigga dodging my phone calls, niggas talking shit through texts, I got all this shit. Just the song. Show the lawyer or whatever it might be. Enforcer, or whatever it might be, I'm just saying. No love for me, I guess it's no love for nobody else. I gotta stand by myself, then I stand by myself. I really didn't like to be around a bunch of niggas that act like females anyway.
Hit that like button.
Crying about shit that a female supposed to cry about. Boo supposed to be crying about the shit. Instead of y'all, no, females take a while on the road. Niggas get ready and flash go in minutes. So, I guess it is what it is. Get it how I live, but don't live at all. Ain't that what I say? You know, hey, just not finna let a nigga feel like they done duke me all the way out the box. I'll still be running around and get some money, man. You know, I'm not having it. I'm just saying, fuck me, fuck you. I'm not having it. So, basically, a mother got to really just let me know.
They say it was Minneapolis.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that I really give a fuck, but the confirmation for everything would be great. So a nigga can know which way to go. You know what I'm saying? Shit ain't gonna be hard. It is what it is. There's so many motherfuckers ciphering what they doing, making them little YouTube pages. And I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I'm doing these motherfucking shit. I'm gonna do this shit for the rest of this lifetime. To either put.
So, okay, for the ones who don't know, he said that they owe him money. They ducking his phone calls. They won't call him back. They won't give him the shit that he rightfully deserved and that's rightfully owed to him. Not only that, man, just like someone just said in the chat, shout out to Kosher Kid, all of a sudden, after Crunchy Black came out exposing these individuals now, all right, after Crunchy Black came out exposing these individuals, he wound up getting shot in the face, all right, something that has never happened before to Crunchy. Why 3-6 Mafia and them were on they shit since they came out in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? And when this man started exposing the things that started going on the back end, a lot of weird shit started to happen to DJ Paul. To Crunchy Black. Excuse me for the name mix-ups, man. Apologize about that. Okay. So when this situation first happened, y'all, like I said, it happened across the street from an airport in broad daylight in front of, like, it's like, who would have the guts? Who would have the testicular fortitude to murder Project Pat's son in the middle of Memphis in broad daylight without being afraid of the repercussions that happen, y'all? Come on, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. Okay? We're talking about Project Pat's son, Juicy J's nephew. All right? Direct ties to the 3-6 Mafia family and whole infrastructure. Who would actually have the guts to do something like that? And why haven't Project Pat came out and mentioned any motherfucking thing about it? Haven't said not one word. Like I said, man, okay? He continues to go to prisons to advocate to the youth and to grown ass adults about what to do and what not to do. The things he been through in life and the lessons he done learned. Excuse me. Like I said, how can you instill change in a stranger? How can you instill positivity in a stranger when you can't even instill change or positivity in your own son? Make it make sense. Because if I was this man right here and you come to see me, bro, how can you shoot me something positive when I just read your son was murdered in the streets of Memphis? And you haven't said a word about it, brother. His killers is running rampant. Something up. Something up. Something up. Something up. Something up, y'all. Something up. Something up. And like I said, I keep hearing people say, you know, he gave his life to God. He turned over a new leaf. Let me tell you something. If you can't turn over the leaves in your own goddamn house and in your own home, how can you extend your hand in somebody else's home and try to turn their leaves? His son was a victim. It wasn't his son's fault. I never said it was. I never said it was his son's fault. I never said any of that. I never said any of that. Shout out everybody up in here.
Of rapper Project Pat's son, Patrick Houston Jr.
The U.S. Marshals have arrested a woman they believe is behind this murder. 19-year-old Talia Jones is charged with facilitation of murder in the death of Patrick Houston Jr., the son of rapper Project Pat. Tonight, we're working to find out more about Jones.
Let's go to Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu live at the MPD Tillman station right now. Jack, we know she's had a couple of previous run-ins with the law.
Yeah, Daryl, according to court records, she was wanted on a warrant separate from the shooting. That's misdemeanor shoplifting. The U.S. Marshals say when they found her in Minnesota, she put up a fight.
A Memphis music legend facing a heartbreaking situation. Patrick Houston Sr., better known as Project Pat, lost his son, 21-year-old Patrick Houston Jr., in a shooting in Imogene Heights back in January. Project Pat once rapped about women, drugs, and the streets, but in recent years, he's focused his creative efforts on prison ministries.
So God gives people out here gifts of people out here have gifts of influence. I was using my gift in the wrong way.
Memphis police say they found Patrick Houston Jr. shot near a park on January 10th. He died at the scene. For months, there was no update on the case, but now the U.S. Marshals say they've made an arrest more than 800 miles away in Minnesota. The Marshals say Talia Jones put up a fight when they tried to take her in. She's charged with facilitation of first-degree murder. Court documents related to her alleged role in Houston's death are not yet available, but she was involved in 2 previous cases. In October 2024, she was arrested following a domestic incident at an apartment complex on Ketchum. She allegedly used a knife during a fight against a woman who was armed with a hammer. That case was disposed. Later that month, she was arrested again, accused of shoplifting from a dollar store on Perkins. She was released on her own recognizance, but didn't show up for a court hearing, and a warrant was put out.
Let's talk about that facilitation charge. That means she's accused of helping someone else who actually pulled the trigger.
She's accused of helping someone else pull the trigger. Who was that person she was helping? And evidently, the person that she was helping, somebody was protected, because Project Platinum dance sure wasn't loud enough, just like they were loud coming through our motherfucking speakers. Chicka chicka walk walk, chicka chicka walk walk, and all the other motherfucking songs that they done made, right? Right? Nigga, fuck all that. Somebody gonna tell me who the fuck killed my son, and I'm gonna be screaming that shit. I'm gonna be screaming it just as loud as I screamed all that negative shit, all right, and influence people to go out here and rob, steal, shoot, and kill. I'm going to find out what the fuck happened. If it's the last thing I do, bruh, fuck all that. If I went hard for all these albums, if I went hard for all this bullshit and all this negative energy, now my son gets gunned down and murdered to the same energy that I once was contributed to, but you made a what? You turned over a new what? What? Man, please, please, please. Yo, listen here. I take shit very, very seriously and deeply when it comes to spirituality. All right? No games. Ain't no time for errors, man. Ain't no time for ifs. Ain't no time for ands. And ain't no time for buts. The same energy you contribute when you was running with the demon and the devil, now it's time for you, all right, to contribute some positive energy. And now that same energy that you once contributed to has came back and caramelized in your life, all right, and took your son from you. What? What? If you ain't supposed to, man, listen. 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 Something wrong with this picture. Like I said, man, something wrong with this picture up in here. All right, because do you know how stupid you would look if it was you? Do y'all know how stupid Project Pat look right now? All that same energy, like I said, that you put into all that demonic and negative shit. Now it's time to find out what happened with your son and promote some awareness about that shit. You quiet as a fucking mouse. Somebody said Crunchy Black daughter got unalived about a year ago too. Listen here, man. I don't give a fuck. For Project Pat to be this quiet and not say a goddamn word about his son being murdered, no press conference or nothing. But you can do press conferences for rap albums and rap tours and shit, though. And like I said, man, a lot of people are genuinely connected to these people by their artistry, by their creativity, by their music. They actually don't even know like the real life person that these people really are. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who these people really are. We're just connected to them through their music and shit, right? So that's how we judge them. Because of course, okay, they are the influence. They are the influence. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of people gets the two misconstrued. They get the two mixed up. Okay? That's why they always say, man, your real person that you think is what you think is not what you think at all. And far from it. Your idols become rivals. Your idols become rivals. Literally. Okay, so this situation happened back in January, right? January the 10th. All right. Let's see something here. Let's see something here. See something, yeah. Okay. Check it out. This is 8 days after his son's death. I'm about to strategically fuck y'all up. I let all y'all talk all y'all shit, bro. In the chat, this and that, blah, blah, this. And I ain't say a goddamn thing because I'm strategic and I ain't in a rush to prove a motherfucking thing. Ain't nothing changed about the protocol over here. Remember that shit. All right, hit the like button. Now, this is fucking 8 days after his son's death. What y'all got to say now, motherfuckers? Huh? This is 8 days. His son died January 10th. This January 18th, right? What does post say? He ain't make not one post about his son. Hold on. December 28th, skip over his son's death. Look, boy, I thank God for another day. Look at this. Son was killed 8 days ago. Son was killed 8 days ago. Okay, go what? Go Foundation 9. You see this, right? Nothing about his son up there, nowhere. Right? Y'all see how he go to the prison yard, right? This is how he go when he go to preach the word of God in prison. All right? Black Averett leather jacket, black gloves, hoodie. Only thing missing is the ski mask. Just pull it over your face, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all know he go into the prisons like these, right? Y'all know he go into the prison dressed like this, talking to what? Criminals. Going there dressed like a criminal, right? And I could prove it. I could prove he go into the prisons with black hoodies, leather jackets, and fucking black gloves and shit on. Huh? You want me to prove it? What you want me to prove? I could prove so much. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm one of the best to do this. Huh? What the fuck we doing here? All right? The first thing about change The first thing about change is what? Hold on. The first thing about change, especially when you're going into a prison system, try to influence change of criminals with all black on, black hoodie, black gloves. The first thing about positive change from this type of lifestyle would be your fucking presentation. Fuck you talking about? It'll be your presentation. The way you present yourself. Look at the presentation. Now, let me start really cooking. Since we got all the trolls out of here, hit the like button. Let me start really cooking. And show you how this shit is really done. All right? Because, like I said, 8 days after his son was murdered in cold blood in broad daylight, he looked the other way and never acknowledged the death of his son. Not one time. He never acknowledged the death of his son, but he still chooses to go on Instagram and acknowledge what? Other bullshit that he what? Worships for a what? Beneficial gain. Right? So if a nigga come up to me in prison dressed like this, talking about change, I'm gonna be like, bruh, you're bugging the fuck out. Okay? Because fuck what you're saying out your mouth. People are influenced by an image nowadays. A image, a picture, Instagram post, a perception. And the way you look when you walking in this prison, Project Pat, you look like a gangster. You have a gangster perception. You have a gangster lifestyle image. Shout out. Listen, this is blasphemy, bro. For his father to be a preacher, he should know better. Listen, man, I just got to keep it 100. For his father to be a preacher, excuse me, a preacher, he should know better. All right. Preaching the word with black gloves, black hoodies. Like I said, man, it looked like he about to go rob a nigga. Right? The same shit that those criminals are in there for is for the same shit that is on your hand and on your back. Hoodies and gloves try to conceal themselves doing crimes. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Y'all see the perception? You see the image? No matter what he might say positive out his mouth, only thing these individuals are seeing is the perception and the presentation and the image. Just keeping it 100. Especially when you try to influence change on individuals in the prison system. This ain't the same as out on the street. You have to lead by example. You have to lead by example. And going in there with a black hoodie, black hat, gloves, fucking scully ski hats and shit all on your head. Yo, that's not positive for these criminals that look at that shit as what? Y'all know the rest. Shout out everybody up in here. So, like I said, man, I got a lot of strategic vital information. All right. Look, okay. He's advocating, right? Everything looks right. See this, right? It's just he been doing this years. Why the fuck are you wearing black glove, all black? Like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? Somebody make it make sense to me. Because ain't these the same individuals that's getting arrested every day? When you see them on cameras, when you see cops shooting down our young ones, what they're in, all black, hoodies, gloves, Nike tech suits and shit like that, right? Shout out everybody up in here. Yeah, I'm making it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I'm getting to him. I know I'm getting to him. I know I'm getting to him. Y'all don't like that. Well, y'all ain't gonna like this either. He going in and talk to the bitches too. And they all in love with that gangster. They all in love with that gangster. Hold on. Let me put it up close. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not only the men, okay, but he going there talking to the females too. And let me show you how the females look at him. Let me show you all the females see. All right, when they see Pat. I'm going to show you. They going to show you. It's going to be right in our face. Shout out everybody up in here, man. Know what I mean? We going to cook them up. See that? You see that lust? You see that lust? You see that? You see that? What they see? Perception is everything. Nothing he's saying mean a goddamn thing. In one ear and out the other. Okay, all they see is gangster and toxic. All they see is gangster and toxic shit. The same shit they got their ass in there. Okay? A nigga wearing all black that don't give a fuck about you. Literally. A nigga wearing all black that don't give no fuck about you. So, everybody said, look, check it out. 8 days after his son death. 8 days. 8 days. Right? Check it out. Watch this promo. Okay? Look at this promo for a new song, right? New album, right? See that, right? How many days after his son's death, he promoting new music? See this, right? God made a farmer, right? Because you planting the wrong goddamn seeds. All right, what God you talking about, bro? All right, that 3-6 Mafia God, that same God that you took that oath to. Ain't nobody stupid, bro. Ain't nobody stupid, bro. Because y'all planted demonic seeds. All right, and I could prove it. I could prove. Check it out. They plant demonic seeds. That was their job. That was their job. And DJ Paul and Juicy J went all the way with it. That's why they got the motherfucking Oscar. All right? We ain't never hear no goddamn rappers winning no goddamn Oscars and shit. All right? The fuck going on out there? Now look, hypnotize mind. They plant seeds that hypnotize the mind. Hypnotize minds. Okay? Hypnotize minds. Right? Because y'all had been hypnotized. Okay? Y'all see this, right? Crucifixion. They will sacrifice to get where they need to be. All right? See this weird man shit, right? All right? And let you know. See all the souls, all the seeds that have been planted. DJ Paul, master of evil. Okay? Master of manipulation. If they could manipulate you motherfuckers, they telling it. Just like he going up in these prisons, okay, manipulating the motherfuckers. And guy in there told some God made a farmer. Right, right. Planting all these demonic seeds. All right. Half of the reason why you going to these prisons preaching the word, okay, is your goddamn fault from all that goddamn music y'all was putting out. All right. Y'all was a part of the program. Y'all was a part of the program and that secret meeting shit, okay, that happened out there in California somewhere, where we done heard about what? It was a strategic plan for the prison systems and everything like that to what? To what, y'all? To influence Black Americans to murder and kill and go to prison. And that's exactly what was being created, yo. Non-stop. 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 Listen here. They tell you about this shit, man. All right? When you come into this shit, it's one thing and one thing only, man. And listen, this shit is about choices. This shit is about choices. All right? And the choice they made has been chosen. The choice they made has been chosen. All right? You either could go the right way or the left way or the straight way. Shout out everybody up in here. Okay, choices. Listen here, man. Everything ain't what it seemed to be. Everything ain't what it seemed to be. Okay? Let's hear some evil. Y'all see this, right? With the one eye coming. Look at that, man. It's all over. Everybody know what these motherfuckers is about. Everybody know we chicken winging them about, man. Everybody know. Okay? The mockery. You see the mockery, right? Listen, man. Ain't no more if, ands, or buts. All right? These people will be forever cursed, bro. All right? As much darkness, it's different levels to darkness and evilness, bro. All right. And as much darkness and evilness as the Recess Mafia has produced and put out into the world, man, they will forever be cursed, bro. All right. They will forever be cursed. It will forever be cursed. No matter what they do, they offsprings, all that shit will forever be attached to that energy. All this is written in stone. People could turn their head the other way, like they don't hear this shit if you want. All right, but what did it say? What did it say when it's written in stone? Our children will what? Pay for our sins. Our children will pay for our sins. Well, like I said, man, all right, this is this will be a never-ending evil story. They in deep. All right. They was going to listen here. DJ Paul, Juicy J, in them. Okay, Lord, Infamous in them. They were going to Masonic lodges since they were teenagers in Memphis. That's right. It's documented. It's documented. Now, like I said, and I done mentioned it many times on this show. All right. A lot of people have no idea about some of the things that possibly or allegedly take place, okay, behind the scenes at some Masonic lodges, okay? All right, and we all done heard about the alleged activity and shit that be going on at these lodges and how it's different levels and different degrees and things like that. All right, but it already has been documented that DJ Paul and them was in downtown Memphis one time. All right, and it was a lodge that they always came across. And one day they wound up going into the Masonic Lodge. And you know what I mean? They didn't speak a whole lot about what was going on, but we could only imagine. We could only imagine. Let me see something here. Shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation up in here, man. GFTV is back, man. We up in here just kicking it, breaking some things down about what's going on with this situation with Project Pat's son and why he hasn't came to the forefront about his son's murder as much as he came to the forefront about this demonic ass music that they've been pushing for years. You see something here. All right, yeah. I'm gonna play this one here, yo. This gonna explain shit, yo. Hit the like button, man. I got something special for y'all, man.
The legendary group is even credited for birthing one of the darkest forms of hip-hop, horrorcore rap. What many people don't know is what
Shout out to the content creator, man. Truth is, man. Let's go. He did this a few years ago, man, but he break down a lot.
the group had to do to make it in the industry, who to this day they still serve. Join me in this episode as we uncover the dark truth about 3-6 Mafia. The rap group 3-6 Mafia was created by DJ Paul and Lord Infamous, and it was originally made up of 3 members, DJ Paul, Lord Infamous, and Juicy J. But later they would add 3 more members, Crunchy Black, Gangsta Boo, and Koopsta. One of the original group's project was called Portrait of a Serial Killer and is credited with birthing the horrorcore genre in hip-hop. Horrorcore rap, for those who don't know, is a subgenre of hip-hop that consists of dark energy beats and horrifying lyrics that are packed with demonic energy. In 1983, some of the members of the group would release one of their most notable projects, Come With Me to Hell, before 3-6 Mafia would officially be formed. The project contained rough drafts of many hit songs, like Tear the Club Up, that would eventually become big hits later in the group's career. The group started calling themselves 3-6 Mafia after Lord Infamous will refer to his crew as the 3-6 Mafia in one of his songs. The group felt like the name fit perfectly with the vibe of the group and what they represented. 3-6 Mafia got much of their early inspiration from another rap group that spread a very destructive agenda in hip-hop as well, NWA. I believe NWA played an important role in the selling out of hip-hop. If you guys would like to see a full video on NWA, comment NWA. If 700 people comment NWA,
I told y'all, I got a fucking strange feeling that, know what I mean? Like I said, that secret meeting that went on out there in California about how they was going to strategically set up this gangster rap to influence a lot of motherfuckers to go to prison and all that shit, man. I honestly believe 3-6 Mafia was a part of that whole goddamn plan as well, y'all. But let's continue.
make sure I make a video on them. In 1987, 3-6 Mafia will start their own record label after falling out with their previous label. They called the label Hypnotized Minds, and it would be where they would release their hit songs as 3-6 Mafia. In 1997, the group would sign a record deal with Sony Music and began to work on their second studio album, World Domination, with their hit song Tear the Club Up being the lead single. This album will blow up and take the group to new heights. Not yet
World Domination, and who basically has dominated the way of the world? The enemy, right? The enemy, right? Yup. Shout out to Miss Dade for the endorsement and the sponsorship of this live, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Everything that you do over here at GFTV, baby girl.
At the time. The album would eventually go gold, selling over 800,000 records, establishing the group's presence in the hip-hop scene. This is what you may already know about 3-6 Mafia, but the truth is much more sinister than this. Many people probably supported 3-6 Mafia without knowing that the 3-6 Mafia openly worshipped the devil. Many people didn't even realize the group's name in itself was an honor to Lucifer. We all know what 3-6 stands for, 666, and it's the mark of the beast, and it was probably incorporated in the rap group's name. The group even introduced horrorcore rap, which is literally open satanic music. Rappers like ICP make horrorcore rap and are one of the most popular groups within it. We can see since the beginning of 3-6 Mafia's career what their intentions were, to guide their fans to hell with their demonic music, as they blatantly named one of their early projects, Come With Me to Hell. Unlike in our current world, back in the 90s and early 2000s, the satanic symbolism was much more hidden, as the Masons just wanted to subliminally expose listeners to the agenda. Now that the Masons have managed to manipulate most of the world's population into accepting satanic morals, the agenda is much more open and visible for the world to see. Back when 3-6 Mafia were big, the Masons used them like many other acts at the time to hide the agenda within their music and secretly push it to their fans. This can be seen in one of their biggest songs known by practically every hip-hop fan, Stay Fly. What many people don't know is that the hit song that the world knows and loves has a demonic hidden message in the chorus that I'm certain many of you never caught when the song was released. I myself never knew what I was listening to as a child, as I blindly sang along to the hook with my older brother. In the hook of the song, if you listen closely, you can hear what seems to be a choir of women singing, "You are God, you are King, Lucifer." This blew my mind, as this was a song that I still remembered as an adult many years later. When I started researching this group, I realized as a child I was pretty blind to the evil and was manipulated into looking up to these demonic rappers. The group has plenty of songs where they openly admit to serving Lucifer's agenda. In their song Favorite Scary Movie, Lord Infamous openly admits to performing satanic rituals and participating in voodoo. As he raps, demons dance to the chants of the rituals, black magic, wicked voodoo. In another song by members of the group called Front Page, we can hear some of the members proudly announce their alliance with Satan. The artist Gangsta Boo admits to being Satan's daughter as she raps, Gangsta Boo, the devil's daughter, quick to make your lemons fall, openly admitting who she is serving and what she has chosen to represent. In the same song, Koopsta makes a lot of demonic claims, but the one that stuck out the most was when he rapped, Strange I'm in the Holy Bible. They can't escape, for no soul is in me. Come on now, burn with me. Satan is my witness. Clearly indicating that he sold his soul to the devil. He knew he was going to hell and was now on a mission to guide his fans to the same fate as him, openly admitting that their music was used to serve Lucifer's agenda. In the same song, Lord Infamous raps, Satanic 666, Satan himself gave me a gun, clearly admitting to once again being in alliance with Lucifer. What's crazy to me is that most of the group's fans had no idea who they truly served and what they were even rapping along to. In another 3-6 Mafia song by the name of Mystic Styles, Lord Infamous once again admits to 3-6 Mafia being a product of Lucifer himself as he raps, Feel the wrath of the devil's nation, 3-6 Mafia, a creation of Satan. In the same song, Gangsta Boo again admits to being Satan's daughter as she raps, the moon is full, all I see is 666, 3-6 Mafia, the devil's daughter. In this same song, DJ Paul also admits to being Satan worshiper. We can clearly see they hid their alliance within the lyrics of their music so their fans could blindly take it in. 3-6 Mafia knew what their purpose was, to hypnotize their fans to follow the Masonic agenda. That's why they created their own record label and called it Hypnotize Music. They knew what their task was and how they were going to continue to have famous success in the industry. One of the members, Crunchy.
So, do anybody think, all right, the reason why possibly Project Pat ain't said a word about his son's death or anything, do y'all honestly believe that he know that there's something darker going on the back end since he done made this transition to being, okay, a man of God and speaking for the Most High, okay? Because we know that once you take that oath, all right, you sign your name in blood. We know that you have to sign your name in blood, all right? And it wasn't too long after, you know what I mean, Project Pat decided to make this new lease on life, that this situation came, all right, with his son. Now, if you look here, y'all, okay, like I said, check it out. The legendary rapper Project Pat, known for his association with 3-6 Mafia, is now a pastor who travels to prisons to preach the word of God. All right. Interestingly, Project Pat and Juicy J's father, Jordan Hudson Sr., was also a traveling minister, making this truly a part of his legacy. All right. So, like I said, man, something just ain't adding up. And for Project Pat to be quiet about it, you know what I'm saying? For him to be silenced about it. He's not only quiet, y'all, he has been silenced. You might as well say he has been silenced about his son's death. Literally silenced. Even when it happened, all right? He ain't even post a picture up of his son or nothing, y'all, in memory of his son or nothing. Okay, so we have to make it make sense. Everybody hit the like button. Strategic drop. One of the best to do this. Okay, he haven't even mentioned his son in remembrance or any of that, y'all. Haven't put a picture up of him or nothing. All right, so look, like, yo, do y'all honestly believe Project Pat has been silenced and forced not to say a word about his son? Because like I said, he went right on about his everyday routine and his everyday life 8 days after his son's death, like shit never happened, like it didn't affect him. You see what I'm saying? Still put on his black ski mask, black hoodie, black jacket, black gloves, all right? And went inside the prison, you know what I mean, to speak the word without acknowledging his son's death. Not one time, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I find that very odd and very weird. But not only did he not acknowledge his son's death, okay, Juicy J, his brother, for the ones who don't know, Juicy J and Project Pat are blood brothers. They're related in real life. They had the same father, the same mother. Okay. So for Juicy J, not only Project Pat, Juicy J as well, not to mention his nephew Death, all right, or anything like that. Red flags. DJ Paul, he never mentioned it. Red flags. Fuck mentioning it. Acknowledge it. You acknowledge all this other shit. You acknowledge all this evilness, right? But every time death hit close to home, it's like they're not acknowledging what it is. But like I said, if it's one person who know what's going on with this situation, which I honestly believe, okay, somebody know, if not all of them, but I know for damn sure, Crunchy know. Crunchy know what the fuck went on across the street from that airport. Now, we about to strategically go on the ground. Hit the like button. All right? Shout out to everybody up in here. We about to strategically go on the ground. Okay, we going to go to Google Maps right here on the ground. Right to the location of where Project Pat's son was knocked down, right across from the airport, y'all, on Ketchum and Long. Okay, Ketchum the long way. It's like they be catching them slipping and catching them all lacking on Ketchum Road. That's where they caught young Dolph. Okay, they caught Dolph on Ketchum. They caught Project Pat on Ketchum. So it's like if you want to catch him, you catch him and you get up with him on Ketchum. Because that's exactly what's been going on Ketchum. Besides all the other things that go on now. This is the known area, man, where shit happens. This is the known area where shit happens. Shout out everybody up in here. Okay, but there's no doubt in my mind that Project Pat don't know what happened to his son because he has been silenced. And you could tell when someone has been silenced. It's a difference. It's a major difference when someone is not speaking on something and when they have been silenced. Okay? All right? Being silenced is okay, going on about your goddamn life and all your posts like nothing never happened. See that, right? 14 days after No in memory of his son, nowhere in sight, y'all. Okay? Just music, he still, you see this, right? Shout out everybody up in here, man. With the chat, what y'all got to say about this? I seen y'all up here. I seen y'all. I seen y'all popping it earlier, man. I'm telling you, yo, because listen, we'll be here to make real life matters, make real life sense. Okay? Now, this is where he was found dead inside the park. Okay? He was in the parking lot. Right here, yo. He was in the parking lot. Broad daylight. On, like I said, numerology. Okay? 666. And when they catch the suspect, when they catch the woman, all right, it's actually 6 months later that will actually complete, okay, the numerology of 3-6. You see what I'm saying? Crazy work. And he never acknowledged the shit. He never acknowledged the shit. Shout out Rock City Mara. Exactly. This is what I was explaining earlier. His son died on numerology, okay? We know 2025 adds up to 9. All right, 0 has no value. Then they say found in Minneapolis 6 months later. Okay, another M, M, M. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, that's also numerology. Letters is numbers and numbers is letters. Shout out everybody up in here, bro. I appreciate y'all. Yep, so they catch the suspect in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 6 months later from January 10th, 2025, which is the numerology completion, okay, of 3 6s. Okay? And then Minnesota, Minneapolis, 6 months, got the 3 M's. Okay? We know letters is numbers and numbers is letters, man. And the type of shit that these fucking goofies are into, we know that they with that numerology shit. Cause it's all on their albums, it's all in their artwork, it's in everything. All right, so they big on that shit. They big on that shit. For the ones who like lost about the 3 M's, okay? For the ones that's lost about the 3 M's, the 3 is actually a M as well. You see what I'm saying? The M is actually a 3 as well. So, like I said, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 6 months later, okay? The 3 M's, the 3 threes, 3, 6, 9. Strategic drop. Strategic drop on Fox 13. Yeah, so now that the murderer, the facilitator, because they call this woman here, y'all, the facilitator. That means she helped initiate the situation. She helped basically plan this shit out, right? Okay, so how the hell can they arrest the facilitator? All right, if they got the facilitator, that means they know exactly who the actual suspect is and who murdered his son. Hit the like button. If they know that she is the facilitator, okay, she fucking initiated the whole thing and possibly fueled everything to this man getting knocked down. That means they know who the murderer is. But like I said, even with this great news that his son murderer has been, well, the facilitator of the murderer has been captured, he still haven't acknowledged that part either. He still haven't acknowledged that. Him, his brother, none of them. None of them. Let's see what they, let me see something here. See something here, man. See something here, because see, man, let me see something. Okay, so see something here, man. Shout out everybody up in here, man. I'm doing some strategic research right quick. Let me see something here because Okay, check this out. I decided to go visit old Menendez family home. So much needed to protect it in this city. There's so many stories, shows, and landmarks I grew up watching and read. Yo, look at this weird shit. Okay, so on the day, hit the like button, y'all. Strategic drop. Check this shit out. I told you, bro, I'm one of the best, yo. Alright, check this shit out. Now, on the day Project Pat's son, yo, on the day Project Pat's son was murdered, y'all, guess where the fuck DJ Paul was at? You see? Guess where DJ Paul was at? This shit wild. DJ Paul was out there at the Menendez family home. Y'all see this, right? Tell me. Y'all see this, right? Y'all know who the Menendez is, right? Ain't that's the boys that killed their parents and shit? All right, so on that same day, he just so happens to be at the Menendez homes. He said, I decided to go visit the old Menendez family home. So much need to be protected in this city. There's so many stories, shows, and landmarks I grew up watching and reading about, still around to visit. The history here is like no other. I could go for days about my love for this city, but for now, we pray. You see this shit, right? Now tell me that's not evil. He want them to preserve the Menendez family house. He said it's so many. Yo, this dude is wild, bro. Am I'm bugging out or what? He said places like this need to be protected. They're landmarks. Y'all hear this, right? Now, what happened in the Menendez home? Right? You see this evilness, right? Then he did it in what? Black and white, psycho, duality, twilight zone. It looked at innocent look. Then boom, a blast reality of how evil he really is. You see what I'm saying? So he wanted to go visit where the blood was spilled. You see what I'm saying? This dude is weird, bro. He wanted to actually go to where these kids killed their parents. Wasn't it a bloodbath inside that house? Hit the like button. But this the shit that they represent, though. Here. You see what I'm saying? This is the shit that the people support. By these chicken wing looking motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? All right. Check it out. We all know about the Menendez shit. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? So that's type of shit he like to worship. Okay? Shit like this, where they killed their parents and shit. He said LA need to save it for a historical landmark. You see what I'm saying? I won't be surprised if he buy the damn mansion. Crazy shit. And this is on the same day that Project Pat brother wind up. I mean, Project Pat son, Project Pat's son, excuse me, got knocked down. He's out in LA visiting the motherfucker Menendez homes, talking about it need to be preserved. Talking about it need to be preserved. It's a historic landmark. What y'all think about this? What was the chances? I'm just saying, man. Like, is this a fucking Kawinky thing or what? Because what was the chances of him going to visit the Menendez family home where that bloody tragedy massacre happened at, and Project Pat's son and Project Pat and Juicy J, his label mates, his group mates, wound up having a fucking bloody tragedy of their own to hit so close to home. Now, how can you go out and pay homage and acknowledge the Menendez home, you stupid bitch? I don't give a fuck if everybody leave. We don't even acknowledge your own fucking people's death. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Which proves what we really dealing with. Shout out everybody up in here, which proves what we really dealing with, bruh. Which proves what we really dealing with. Shit went quiet. Motherfucker had been silenced about it. And like I said, do y'all think this can be? Possibly because of the situation that Project Pat signed up for in the beginning of his career. And now he is trying to turn and make a new lease on life by being a prison preacher, but offer the same influence and image that the devil created. Though. You see what I'm saying? And that's Project Pat. Something is off. I just it, it just is. It just is. Okay. We haven't heard nothing about the funeral, his burial, and people could say, yeah, they probably wanted it quiet. They probably ain't wanted all that, but shit, everything else out there, everything else is out there. And now that she has been captured, even more gonna come to the forefront now. Even more gonna come to the forefront. But shout out the whole Fire Flame Nation, man. Now, I mean, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me up in here for these couple hours, man. I'll probably fuck around and come back tonight too. Yeah, man. this is definitely some crazy work going on here. I know that. Kosher Kid, way too deep. They got hell to pay. Yeah, man, but I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. We up out of here, yo. Like, share, subscribe.